right, welcome everybody to the Car Ride Convos podcast. This is number two. Number two. And the sunglasses are coming on today.
Cannot see.
I will not grace you with my beautiful face today. Oh, it's even bright like that too. Yeah, I don't know. It's terrible.
You gonna put your little thing down?
I hate the sun. I hate it. I think it's the worst.
Vampires at heart.
Yeah, you know, I'm just a fan of the cloudy days.
Yeah.
That's me. We gotta run and get some gas real quick, and then we're off for some lunch because me hungry. Me very.
It's 3 o'clock and we're having lunch.
Yeah, that's us.
That's a little snippet into our lives on the regular, pretty much.
Pretty much. I mean, like, I don't know. I sometimes eat lunch at 11. I'm that weirdo too. I don't know.
That's true. I think that's very geriatric, but sometimes.
Yeah. Very geriatric is like lunch at 11 and dinner at like 4.
Yeah. Yep.
That's like that is
7.
That is the elderly cliche.
Yeah, that's probably true. Oh, this will be interesting.
Nah, it's fine. I got it.
Okay.
This actually works out really well for me. All right. Well, you enjoy the cameras while I'm gone.
Thanks. This is very boring. Being here alone. Oh, okay. That guy literally has his hand down his pants and he's like scratching his butt. Nice.
And we're off. Like a herd of turtles.
Like a herd of turtles.
I'm gonna be real with everybody right now. Be legit. Let's get real. The latches, the gas latch, they're back.
Wait, what?
It had one. Yeah.
No, it didn't.
It did.
It was functional?
Yes, 100% functional.
What?
I don't know what's going on.
One podcast in and we're changing lives.
Guys, it's
happening.
This is a pretty big deal for me.
Get the latch back.
Get the latch back, man.
The latch is back. Apparently.
It is apparently wow. That's a thing now. The gas latch has made its way back.
That is so funny. Especially because I just said that's one of the ones that occasionally has like people service.
Yeah.
Like, does it for what's it called?
Yeah,
it's not self-service.
No, it's not self-service.
What is it called?
It's, I don't know, something.
Servant service.
Servant service? Yeah. That's what it feels like.
That's what
I don't know.
Like.
It feels so wrong.
Because you're not supposed to tip them or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
It doesn't feel right.
It feels so wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember looking that up and it was like one of those things that they were,
so cute.
Like, they were like, oh yeah, you're not supposed to tip those guys out of all of them. Like, don't tip them. Like them and maybe bellhops sometimes. Which I was like, bellhops?
Bellhops, really?
I'm always tipping bellhops.
No, I think that's pretty common practice.
Oh, really?
They carry your luggage and move it and stuff for you, right?
I thought you were supposed to tip.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like you're supposed to, but maybe not.
Maybe not. Who knows?
Oh, well.
Yeah, so that's kind of a big deal. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if like legislation's changed or that place was just like, oh man, let's put these latches on. And that's what happened. I don't know. I have no idea, you know, but they're there. They exist and it felt so right.
Yeah.
Filling up the gas.
It always does, you know.
It felt
the little things.
Real good.
In adult life, it's all about the small moments.
It's all about the small things and the small moments. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that just kind of like, I don't know. Whatever we were talking about today, let's just throw it out the window and just talk about what are we grateful for, you know?
What are we grateful for?
I don't know. That was actually kind of...
I was thinking of pet peeves. I think my mind just automatically goes to a dark place.
Oh, pet peeves? What, like, like you're grateful when people don't have those things?
No.
What do you...
I was just thinking of like my actual pet peeves, like the millions of things.
Oh, so have nothing to do with gratitude and everything to do with...
Yeah, just totally opposite of what you were talking about. I was at the other end of the spectrum.
I got dark really quick.
My dark soul coming out.
What are your pet peeves? What's up?
Oh God. Slow walkers for sure.
Really?
Drive me in.
But what about the disabled? Come on now.
That's understandable. I didn't say that. I'm saying just slow people in general.
Okay.
Mainly people, especially when you're in the city and
Okay.
people, like there's a group of 4 people and they walk in like a line this way and they're all going 2 miles an hour and it's like so annoying.
Yeah.
And yeah, that drives me nuts. Like,
Okay.
especially since I feel like it's such a touristy thing. Like people who live
yeah.
in cities are like, no, if you're on a sidewalk, you
Got a
gotta
place to
walk.
be.
Like,
Yeah.
let's hurry it up here.
Let's do it. Yeah, no, I get you there. I get you there.
Yeah.
I get that a little bit. I mean, I'm not the fastest walker. I feel like all of my speed walking has really come with hanging out with you and your dad and stuff like that, and you guys
probably.
walk really fast. So
I know.
it's always something that.
It's hard for me to walk like leisurely. Like I kind of like speed walk everywhere.
Yeah. No, I
even
get
if
that.
I really know where to go. I don't know.
That. I get that 100%.
It just makes me feel better. I have to give like life to my long legs, otherwise they are like purposeless.
No, that makes sense. All right, next pet peeve. Or I can go.
You go.
Me go?
I have a lot though, so.
People who like eat food disgustingly. Just like
Ew,
where they're
yeah.
like out of breath and they're like breathing through their nose and stuff like that. Like that really
Aren't
bothers
you supposed
me.
to breathe through your nose when you eat? Isn't that
No,
part
yeah,
of it?
but do it just like nondescript. Like just, yeah, don't be doing that stuff to where people can hear like like don't do that.
Yeah,
like that's I'm not
that's a little much.
that is so hard to deal with. I have a friend that was actually a lot worse than than I was, and I'm gonna be for real, I used to do it to him on purpose and it used to drive him up the walls.
I mean, you have to.
I know.
You have to when it's like.
It's so funny. It's so funny, and I'm kind of a psychopath for doing that, but he would just lose it, and it's like it's awesome. It's so funny. But
Yeah. His tolerance
Yeah.
is like 0 for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Weird things, but.
love that kid.
Yeah.
Love that
Yeah.
kid. All right, next pet peeve.
My other pet peeve, I think, is a shared one of both of us, is when people say, you just can't make this shit up.
Oh,
Or this
yeah.
stuff up. Are we not allowed to I'm, again, the first person to swear.
Again, if you're the one who wrote the swears, come on the podcast. We want to talk. Who wrote the swears out and was like, these are naughty?
Yeah.
Because we need to figure that out.
Clean speech 0, Kristen 2.
I know,
All right.
seriously.
Yeah.
Wow. Hey, you know what?
Anyway, back to the point.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You
that
can't just make this
phrase,
stuff up.
You can't make
Yeah.
this stuff up.
Yeah.
Annoys me to no end because
Yeah.
what is that? Like, I get it, but I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, you can though. And
Yeah.
I mean, I think part of it has to do with, I feel like I've known a lot of pathological liars that make stuff up that you're just like,
Mm-hmm.
do you think I'm stupid enough to believe what you're saying to me
Yeah.
right now?
Yeah.
So now when people are like, you can't make this up, I'm like, well, yep,
Yeah.
you could. I don't know.
Like, you just think of like anything in history and you're just like, oh yeah, like there was these guys who were like trying to destroy this like all-powerful ring, and like they were up against the wall, and then like these giant eagles flew down and saved them. You just can't make this stuff up. And you're like, no, yeah, that's Lord of the Rings, dude. It exists. It's fiction.
That happened.
Literally, like, just make up
In a book.
anything and be like, oh yeah, like, you can't make this stuff up, man. Be like, dude, it probably has been done in fiction before. It's
Right.
probably been a thing. I don't know.
It's like, what is imagination? There
yeah,
you go.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's such a dumb thing. It's like, well, if you can't make this stuff up, then why are you telling me this? You know, like,
Right, exactly.
I mean, really, like, I don't know. It's so dumbfounding. But you know what?
Yeah.
Just bless those people's hearts. You know, bless their souls. You know.
No.
My pet peeve. Bless your heart, bless your soul. Literally,
The phrase?
Yeah, oh yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I
got
know
it.
what you're saying, and I know it's derogatory, okay? Like, I know that behind, or like, oh, bless your heart, and then behind my back, you're like, those Yankees they'll never, I get it. I know what you're doing. Like, this is not like, yeah. In the North, we do the same thing, except for it's not like backstabbing anyway. We're just like blatantly like, I hate you. Like, they're like, oh, my day
Yeah.
was terrible. And I'm like, no, I hate you.
Yeah.
You are the worst.
Yeah.
That's our version of bless your heart, bless your soul, sweet
Yeah.
little mama,
It's not sugar-coated.
mama juju boo boo, or whatever they do. I don't know. They always do something. And, yeah, that's my pet peeve. Next
True.
pet peeve.
Well, lipstick on
Your teeth.
my teeth is a pet peeve of mine. Side note, God. Pet peeve of mine is when you're going out with like friends or couples or whatever, and it's on some type of like double, triple date, whatever, or
Yeah.
you're just out with people who
Yeah.
have their significant other there.
Yeah.
And they refuse to talk to the group, and they whisper to each other.
Yeah.
And either one person is totally silent and only whispers, and then their significant other speaks for them, or it's just a little chitter chatter back and forth as if like they're not out in public. And I'm just like, why are you making this weird? Like, nobody likes that. Like, I feel like we are good about being relatively neutral. We're super stupid together, no shame, anywhere, anytime, which is probably a fault in and of itself. But I really don't feel like we at least put off that vibe of like creepy. Obviously, Kristen and Ryan are in their own little bubble. Like, that always makes me feel awkward.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's just annoying because it's like, come on, we're all adults now. It's not like you're 13.
Those people are so mousy. They're like they're such a mousy species, those people. Like, they're always like, and they always have to cover their mouth when they're like, it's like,
just
what?
Weird.
What are you talking about?
And I guess I thought that would end as we, all grew up, but I really still feel like I know a lot of people that do that, and they're grown people.
They're grown people.
Grown people.
Yeah.
So.
No, yeah, I know. I don't know. What's the deal with those people?
I don't know. That's the thing.
People who whisper in groups, comment down below. What's your story?
Yeah, exactly.
Why are you the way that you are?
And why are you that way?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of my next pet peeve. This is kind of a really weird one because it doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
Okay.
And I don't think I've ever said it before. This is like the first time I'm voicing this. But you know those control freak friends you have where like you explain them, they're like, oh, what are you doing? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm gonna go home, grab my stuff, go over to this person's house, come back, then get your stuff, then do it. And they're just like, no, why would you do that? And they give you like a proper way to do it. Like, that bothers me that people even have to say that.
That's
like,
very specific.
It's very weird, and it doesn't make any sense because sometimes I just want to do things my way, and like sometimes they don't know like my ulterior motives behind it. Like, hey, what happens if I just wanted to go home and use my own bathroom? You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe that's the reason why I want to do that.
Yeah.
Maybe I want to do something to inconvenience myself so I can actually benefit myself. You don't know that. And it's just like this weird thing that I'm just like, come on. I mean, it doesn't like, it's a mild pet peeve. Like, I'm just like, I was like, psh, why would you do that?
I think it's annoying when people act like there's only one right way to do it.
Yeah.
But like in that case, obviously, it really bothers people who are control freaks and have like a specific, no, but this is the way to do it. It's like, no, not really though.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, you never, I don't know. We gotta go to like ultimate pet peeves. Like, what's the one thing that like really, really, really bothers us?
I thought of a good one though.
Like one that's like just really bad.
Oh man, it's like at the tip of my mind. My mind.
Go to your mind palace.
My mind palace.
You need to create one of those like the British Special Forces. And just go in there. Yeah, the British Special Forces, they would do this thing like their mind palace, and they would actually like physically recreate an area where they would hide like store thoughts or ideas or intel and information and stuff like that into these physical places they can walk through in their brain, because supposedly if you create one of those that's very vivid, it's supposed to be very beneficial for memory and remembering things that can be in those situations where they're just slightly out of reach. I don't know. It's a really weird concept.
I remembered it.
What is it?
While I was slightly ignoring everything that you just said, I was remembering.
Oh, no, that makes sense. Thank you.
No.
What's up?
I think this is a pretty generic one. I'm sure I hope a lot of people are gonna relate to this. When you text people Especially people that you know are constantly on their phone, even when you're with them, and they don't text you back. Within like at least, if an hour passes, I'm like, you're dead to me. Why is that a thing? Do you not have 30 seconds of your life to just be like, quick response, leave it at that. Like, I don't care what you respond to me, at least acknowledge that I texted you, because I know that you're on your phone. I know you are. It's just that you're always on it.
Like,
There's no way
we all know those phone junkies out there that are just like constantly glued to their phone, and like you text them and you like it just says delivered and there's no reading thing at all, and you're just like, man, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, I know you're on your phone. I know. Like, you wouldn't be doing anything else. You're never doing anything else.
Right. Super annoying.
It's that one's kind of mild. It's a mild pet peeve for me in the sense that like it's only whenever I need something that infuriates me, because I'm like, oh my goodness, I've been texting you dumb stuff all week and you've been responding, and the one time I need something, of course, you're just sitting there being like, I'm not gonna answer. It's like, really? That's weird.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
I don't know. But
or I feel like when it's like, I've known people where if I'm texting them something that they need from me, or they were waiting for me to say to them, or like, you know, whatever, it's like super fast. Or like when they text me, I quickly respond, whatever they need, but then it's like, you know, dead silence for forever. I don't know.
And that's not annoying. That's not to say that I'm not. First of all, I'm not a screen junkie. I'm not one of those people. Screen junkie. I think that's just like it's a dumb YouTube channel or something. I don't remember. I'm not like a phone junkie at all. So it doesn't really apply to me too much. But I have had moments. I'm not completely blameless of not offending this pet peeve. I've done it once or twice where I have not responded to people just because they want something. I'm just like, ugh.
Well, and I've done the thing where like I respond to someone and then I forget to send it.
Oh.
And it's like sitting in like,
that's happened to me once or twice.
Thing,
yep.
And I'm like,
yeah, that's a mistake.
Was 4 days ago.
That's what it's like being a millennial, having those sorts of problems, you know?
Yeah.
What does it even mean to be a millennial anymore? You know what's really funny?
What?
Is I feel like everyone but millennials are telling me what millennials are. That's the funniest thing.
I don't think it's funny.
I think you don't think it's funny?
I'm massively offended at this point. But I guess that's very millennial of me.
Oh,
but
yeah.
The thing is, I guess I'm just annoyed because I feel like I don't really fit a lot of the things that, like, I am super easygoing. I have a very sick, sarcastic sense of humor. Like, I don't get offended easily.
Sick, sarcastic sense of humor. That's kind of on point with millennials, I think. I think.
But what about the millennials that are like SJWs? There's always something to be offended by. I don't think sarcasm is something that those people are like. Adopt.
I think. See, I have a weird theory about the SJW thing. I have this weird theory where it's not millennials or SJWs freaking out. What happens is, like, there are media stories written rhetorically about something that is what would normally be written in the media as controversial, okay? That would be considered as like, oh, well, me as a writer and editor, I found this controversial, okay? But they actually spin it in weird ways now where they're like, this thing has, you know, accumulated much controversy as of late. But like much controversy, like they're like, oh no, it's just controversial. So what happens is all these millennials, because we're so connected to media and news outlets and we're constantly reading things, at least I am, whenever I read that, I'm like, oh man, there are tons of people outraged by this. When it's not. It's just written that way. So these people are reposting stuff on Twitter, which, by the way, if you're on Twitter, that is the fakest, dumbest world ever. People don't think like that. People don't talk like that in real life. There are people I know on Twitter who I talk to on not a regular basis, but I see them in real life and I'm like, oh, this is a completely approachable, nice, kind person. And they are the worst on Twitter. They are evil. They say things that are partisanly Democrat and Republican, when in real life I know that they're smarter than both of those mindsets. It's just like, it's ridiculous. But I do have that weird sort of, I guess, a conspiracy theory that I don't think that the origin of the outrage comes from social justice warriors and millennials. I think it comes from the media, and then all of a sudden we freak out because we're like, oh, I should be freaking out about this because everyone else is, when no one else is. And it's only freaking people out because we're reposting it and resharing. I don't know. It's just like this weird thing. I could be wrong. I don't know. I'm not a part of those colleges where weird stuff happens. I'm in the STEM department, so I don't have to deal with all that weird stuff. But I don't know. It's just like this weird thing that I just kind of don't believe in. But yeah, I understand your outrage with...
I just feel like it's more grossly misunderstood. I'm not saying those people don't exist, because I know a lot of them. Yeah. But I think just, especially since I feel like it's the generation that is getting like the most laughs out of millennials are our parents.
Our baby boomers,
And it's like, okay, do you not feel like you're part of the problem of why a lot of people are like this? Because you raised us.
I love this analogy. Is people are like,
participation trophies shouldn't exist.
And it's like, yeah, who gave us those participation trophies again? Who created that?
Right.
Oh, that's right. Baby boomers did.
Yeah.
Baby boomers. And you know why they believe in participation trophies? Because they had to sit behind the greatest generation, and they had to wait things out where they're
like, oh man, we should get a participation trophy.
Or like the Vietnam War, which we lost, and they should be like,
we should get a participation trophy for losing in Vietnam.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like really dumb, and it's like, come on, man.
And you're saying that we're spoiled, like, oh, well, you don't have to pay for your first car or like your apartment your school. Well, for one, it's not true. For two, it's like, you're paying for it, though. You're the one doing that. Like, you're the one offending. That's why whatever.
Exactly.
That's what annoys me, I think, the most. Yeah. Is that, for one, there are extremely hardworking millennials out there.
Yeah.
And there are millennials that were not handed things to them from the baby boomers. And just being grouped in that. And I've had people say things to me at my profession, saying, like, your generation doesn't do X, Y, and Z, and you're not as good of workers in this work field.
Workforce?
Yeah, workforce, thank you. As, my generation is, while the people saying this to me are sitting on their phones playing on Facebook as I'm like literally doing all the work.
Yeah, well, Candy Crush and Farmville, that's like a big deal. Is Farmville still a thing?
I don't know.
There are blankets in the middle of the interstate.
Wasn't a body.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, about the only, I feel like I had a really solid hand-me-down whenever I was growing up. I had a hand-me-down Buick LeSabre with the power steering out in it.
Yeah.
Where I had these huge biceps. You see these things? Like, I had to, I was just, oh man, I was cranking that thing. It was crazy. Yeah. And I feel like that was a solid handout. And my mom, I think she paid I don't know, I want to say maybe $1,100 or $2,000 or something for it. And by the time that I had got my hands on it, the depreciation had been devalued all the way to $500 or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't really get the hate on millennials, man. I don't know. We're the ones who are out here winding and grinding, man. I don't know.
And we can't afford anything because our parents wanted us to go to college that was so expensive, so now we're all massively in debt. Yeah. And I don't say that hypothetically because we're still paying for our schooling. So this is all personal experience. I don't know, it's weird. It's frustrating hearing it because I've had people group me into that box literally before, and it's it's really rude.
It's just, I don't know, it's just a lot of really dumb memes come out of it too, where they're just they're like, oh man, back in my day, we didn't have iPads when we were kids. And I was like, first of all, I don't think that, I'm not one of those people that's much of a believer in, let's give the children devices, that sort of stuff. I'm not really that guy. But every generation has that story. It's like your generation, you guys had footballs, and the generation before was just like, back in my day, we didn't have footballs. We hit a wheel with a stick, and it's like, what? Like, yeah, okay.
What is this like recurrent like voice that you're doing?
I don't know. It's just like it's the sound of Facebook. That's what it is.
Yeah, it is. The squeaky people.
I read
Mouse people.
I read everybody's stuff on Facebook, like, and today I'm so mad. It's like, okay, cool. This guy get in a car accident.
Okay.
We're gonna do this in the Road Rage podcast here in a second.
No, it's okay.
No? Road Rage podcast. Commence.
No.
I don't even know if I'm going the right way. I thought I knew the way to go here, but I haven't seen any signs.
Well, do you need me to look it up?
No.
Okay.
We'll just find some
might be
else.
right.
We may just starve.
I don't know. Going back to what you said about the kids having, like, I don't have children, so it's hard for,
Oh yeah, here comes all the outraged moms in here, like, you're half a human because you don't have a kid.
Yeah.
How dare you tell us what to do? You don't know how hard it is. You're half of a human.
Okay.
You're not a real woman if you haven't had a kid.
Anyway.
Okay.
The kids having, like, I don't believe in plopping your kids in front of a TV, like, all the time, or, like, that being, like, their activity that they do, like, after school or whatever.
Yeah.
Or, having totally unrestricted time on iPads or what have you. I mean, again, I'm not saying that every parent does that, but I think it is hard to... I mean, technology that's the way of the future. Like, we are getting away from so many jobs even that have been, had humans behind them, or like all the automated things that we have like over the phone now that really don't include, many humans.
Yeah.
Which is weird. And like, I mean, look at all the restaurants that just have those kiosks now that are like, fast food restaurants that you don't even have to like have a person there to stand at a register to like order anything. Like, I know that that's where we're headed.
Yeah.
But I understand when people, they have like little kids with like laptop requirements at school, and they're learning all this, which I understand, and I think that to some degree it's like, yeah, well, this is just where life is headed. This is where the future is in all this stuff. But I think it's just more of a matter of like limiting and really understanding. I don't know. I think it's scary too because of social media being involved in that, and like how kids are just, if you leave them to their own demise, like that's such a different world, and all the weird psychological issues of, aiming for likes and comments and all this stuff on Instagram and YouTube or Facebook or whatever. Like, that's such a weird society that we've created too, that I think growing up in like that's all and not knowing anything before the internet or before cell phones or before all this social media, I think it's going to be interesting to see how they grow up. But I don't know. I think there's just balance is the...
Yeah. You get that serotonin pumping, right? Is that the one, serotonin? The reward system? The reward drug? The reward chemical in your brain?
Maybe.
Serotonin. One of the two. There's another one, too. Dopamine actually might be the one. Serotonin might be the love hormone. I don't know, something stupid.
God, you can't with that.
I can't?
No.
Yeah, going back to what you're saying with there's a very interesting story about kids and iPads. So, scientists took a sealed cardboard box. They taped it up, and it had a bunch of tablets in it.
Okay.
Like Android tablets.
Okay.
Android operating system tablets. And they dropped it off on the outskirts of the limits of a village in in Africa. Okay?
Yeah.
And these kids not only opened the box, but they were able to use, after a few months, up to 9 applications inside the tablets, and even hacked the Android operating system. Yeah.
Wow.
Parents, don't get excited. That's not your kid. Your kid is not that smart. But these kids figured it out. So there is a benefit to a degree. To a degree. There is benefit to children doing that. But there is just a lot of stupid stuff that they could be doing on there, which is dumb. So, yeah.
It's dangerous. I mean, I think... look at YouTube and how there's been like such an issue with like the
kids videos.
Yeah, the kids videos and like the children content that's supposed to be labeled as safe, and it I don't know. It's scary. Like it's.
Yeah.
I think you shouldn't ever trust something to be a safety net for your kid.
Yeah.
Be smart enough to do it for you. Like I think there's always that level of parents have to still have some type of.
Yeah. When Kyle and I, my older brother and I were growing up, Kyle kind of used to veg out when he was a baby and watch Dumbo, the movie Dumbo. And I don't know if you've seen that movie before.
Sad.
But out of all the movies, you probably shouldn't let your kid watch Dumbo over and over again.
Yeah.
Between the psychedelic, like, hippiness of, like, I don't know, there's a part where he drinks alcohol or something, and he just, like, loses his mind, you know? There's the overt racism in The Crows. There's the... Oh, come on, man. There's the crazy sadness of the of just the whole premise of the mom and the baby being separated and like all this stuff, you know, like it's just like
not the best movie to grow up on. Maybe.
No, it's not great. It's not great at all. So there's just like things. I mean, he turned out fine. Spoiler alert, he's fine. You know, it's no big deal. But that's just a weird movie to like watch over and over and over again, you know?
Yeah.
I don't remember what mine was, because with a lot of things, my mom kind of like forgot. She'd be like, oh yeah, I don't remember. It's like, oh, why? It's like, oh, because I had 3 kids after you, you dumb little kid. It's like, oh, makes sense. Yeah. That's heavy. That's heavy, man. So...
all those Disney movies have probably a darker.
They do.
I saw story than we ever.
I saw this hilarious meme. It wasn't a meme. It was just like a picture on Facebook, and they were just like, what was it? They were like, let's see how. Oh, it was must-watch Disney movies, and I kid you not, in like the top like 10. Song of the South was in it. I don't know if you've ever seen Song of the South.
Is that the same as similar to like Melody Time?
No. I know what you're talking about. Not Melody Time. It's called Song of the South. Talk about racism. Oh my goodness. That is like...
God.
I feel like that it is these... It's like Uncle Tom's Cabin. It's like this... It's like the satirical version of that. There's some things... Because I think there's like a whole phrase where this guy... He's walking with this rabbit, and he's explaining something where he's like, you know, things aren't that bad. I like being a farmer. And it's what?
I think I've seen clips of that.
Yeah, and I'm just like, this, not surprising, was made by Walt Disney, famous anti-Semite Walt Disney, who's probably currently frozen somewhere in some cryogenic chamber waiting to...
I think that's not true.
Bust out. Oh no, I know it's a myth, but it's fun to think about. I think about him, and I think of maybe Mel Gibson's Frozen 2, and it's like Forever Young sort of thing. I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
It's a great movie.
That was a great movie.
I loved it as a kid. I was like, oh my goodness, romantic movies can have complex sci-fi plots? What? I just found out that there was this there's this feature films for the family or something like that we had as a kid, and it's about this kid who saves the president. I don't remember, but I did not see that. It's like I Save the President or something, but it's like his dog and his cat help too, and he can talk to them and stuff. It's so weird.
No.
Look how house. Let's go that way.
You know where?
Yeah, I know. And I found out that Jan from The Office is the mom in that movie.
No kidding.
Yeah, I was like, what?
Wow.
No, that's so crazy. I don't know. I thought that was awesome.
We watched. We had a few like that were decent. Like then there was a
the
couple
Buttercream
weird
Gang.
ones. I don't even remember that.
Oh,
movie.
okay.
I just remember the title. But I think I don't know. Did you guys ever see? Well, you watched Rigoletto with us. I don't know if that was considered a. I feel that was in that category too. I kind of feel like it is. There was also.
I mean, for real, I've been trying to block out Rigoletto from my brain after watching it.
What?
Kind of a scary movie.
I think you say that about all the movies that I grew up watching. Like all the ones. Oh my gosh. We Sing movies. We Sing. You remember those?
Oh yeah.
We Sing in Sillyville. The Big Rock Candy Mountain.
I didn't watch those movies, but you guys did.
Uncle, what was the musical one? The Marvical. Oh my God.
Marvical. Marvin the Marvical Marvin.
The Marvelous Musical Mansion, maybe was the name of it, or something like that. But it was all musical.
Sure.
I mean, it makes sense. Like, we used to make up songs all the time. I still do to this day.
Yeah. Generation Z or Y or whatever you guys are. If you don't know what that is, just like old school songify, you know? No, songify is cancer.
Songify? Okay. I don't think I've ever, I don't know what that is.
Isn't it the thing where you like...
Shazam?
No, songify is like you like sing, you like, it's like slow-mo's things for you, and then...
Oh, that's Musically.
Musically, whatever, songify, Musically, whatever.
That might be something similar though.
I don't know. But that stuff is just like...
Musically is cancer.
Musically is like... I like watch some of that stuff, I'm like, man, dude, I understand if you're sending that to your friends personally, but if you're trying to like get famous or something, like, and like putting it on the internet, I'm like, what are you doing?
If you think it's impressive or a talent to lip sync someone else's song and just have it be you singing it, like doing stupid crap, that is dumb. There is something wrong with your brain.
Yeah.
Delete the app.
Delete, uninstall. Just uninstall, please. Yeah.
That's
just do it. I mean, I don't know.
It's so weird. It's such a weird.
It is so weird.
Pastime. I don't know.
Who else this?
Whoa, Mr. GoPro. What you doing, girl?
Did you not clean that out?
I did. I did clean it out.
Oh, okay.
Well, all right. Well, that's going to do it for podcast number 2. We're cutting it short a little bit. I don't know how short because of technical difficulties, which we will get figured out eventually when we understand how to use technology. We are not like those children in Africa who can find tablets and hack the Android system. We actually have no idea how to use any of this stuff. So
we're learning as we go.
Exactly, which is fun because you guys can experience the frustration with us. All right, have a good one. See ya.